This is TWiT.
Something interesting. Firefox is planning to flag sites that have been hacked in the past, ever. Working with Troy Hunt, who we often speak of. He has the Have I Been Pwned site and database, which currently has a list of 254 websites that have had their users' password databases maliciously exfiltrated in the past. A new feature planned for Firefox will check any sites Firefox's users visit and preemptively warn them when they're visiting any site that has, in the past, suffered a breach of its users' secret data. So, for example, you go to yahoo.com. There'll be some sort of a warning just telling you, oh, by the way, this website has had its data lost. And, naturally breached websites won't like this, but users will. And the news of this has been greeted with some happiness on the part of users. And of course, we can hope that the specter of this kind of long-term persistent shaming may serve to keep companies more focused upon not being added to that list in the future. It's not clear whether there will be a date or a number of, like what additional information will be made available, what sort of metadata might be included. But Troy has confirmed that he's working with Mozilla, and they're in discussions about how Firefox can pull from his database to keep itself current, and just let people know if they visit a site who at some point in the past has not been sufficiently secure. So it's interesting. We're seeing as web browsers become more centric to everyone's experience. I mean, they're now the application platform that many people use with, Office 365 and everything being, and all of Google's stuff being cloud-based. We're seeing browsers being increasingly proactive now in coming up with useful security and privacy features for their users, which I think is just all for the best.
The thing about this, though, is I have seen a complacency among users when they get the warning window, be it whatever browser it is, that this site is not secure, it's not using HTTPS, and they've gotten desensitized to it, so they'll just click through. Yep. They need to do something different for this, because this is not a warning in that sense. It's not saying, hey.
Correct. It does not, and it does not stop you from having access.
Precisely.
It's just an advisory. Probably a little shim up at the top across the top of the page that we sometimes see browsers offering, just saying, oh, by the way, you should know.
I think that needs to be something that if you're a security professional today and you design products, you need to start looking at UI a bit more, because you can give all the great information to the user, but if they don't actually understand what you're trying to do, they see it as just a nag screen. And they'll click through it just like they do when they click through EULAs upon installing software. There has to be a little bit of thought into, okay, here's a behavior that I want to encourage among my users. What's the best way to encourage that? And it's not just throw something up on screen that I can click through. If someone goes to the Equifax website, there needs to be something that's very quick and to the point and says, you may not want to trust this entity. Because as you mentioned that maybe it's time for these companies to feel a little bit of shame, but I think you also have to do the opposite. There has to be sort of a carrot and stick approach. You have to be able to hold up the companies that do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.